To my April newsletter. As I was preparing this month's newsletter, I was in prayer asking God, what can I share with the folk that's going to be of use, that's going to be of value, that they can actually use for their life? And what came to me was, life is best experienced from the inside out. Now, what does that mean ultimately? Well, if you think about life, life is truly supposed to flow from you. You're supposed to create your own universe, your own world. Now, do we have situations and things that happen to us? Of course we do. But ultimately, life is supposed to flow from you. Now, what exactly does, living life from the inside mean? It means having joy and peace and happiness when things are not necessarily going the way that you would like them to go. And this is crazy. I have this story from when I was like 8 or 9 years old that at the time didn't make any sense to me, but now it makes perfect sense, and it's so perfect for this situation that we're talking about. My mom had a friend named Tony, and she always raved about Tony because he was this artistic guy and he was so creative and all these things, and he built this house all by himself. So to me that was amazing, to be able to build a house all by yourself. And so I was like, I gotta see this house. So long story short, we're pulling up to the driveway, and as we're pulling up, my excitement kind of dies down because the outside looked crazy. And I was saying to myself, this is the house that my mom's been telling everybody about? And I was just shocked, like, that this was the house. So once we got inside though, my whole experience changed. Once I was inside, it was like a palace. It was immaculate. It had hardwood floors. It had all the amenities that 1988 had to offer. And I said to myself, wow, why does this inside look so dope, but the outside look crazy? And I remember asking my mama, I said, Mama, why does the inside look so dope, but the outside look crazy? And she said to me, you gotta start with the inside. She said that the inside is most important. That's where you live. And at the time it didn't make sense to me, but now I get it. The inside is where you and I live. And you know what happened? Every time we pulled up to Tony's house, the outside became more and more attractive to me. And the same thing will happen with you. The more you start living from the inside of who you are, who God created you to be, you start to become more and more attractive. So, with that being said, I'm going to share with you some tips to help you build the best life from the inside out. Here are some tips. The first tip that I will always share with you is to write down what peace, what happiness, and what inside of you looks like. It's important to write everything down because it's a principle. Whatever you write down becomes law, and you're bound to it. And God is bound to it. So you have to know specifically and intricately everything inside of you that will make you happy, that will bring you joy, that will bring you peace. Tip number 2. This is a great value building exercise. Every morning before you begin your day, even if you have just a minute or 2 minutes, look in the mirror, I don't care if you look crazy, and tell yourself 5 things that make you valuable. And it's important for you to know this about yourself, because if you don't understand your value, then you will never understand what it means to have peace, to have happiness, to have joy, to have those things when things are not going the way that you like them to go. And if you're tech savvy, you can videotape yourself telling yourself what makes you valuable, whatever works for you. And lastly, I want you to find 5 people from different areas of your life. Doesn't matter if they're co-workers, if they're members of your church, if it's your teacher, whomever. And ask them to tell you, what do you bring to this world? What is your value? What do you offer? And this is important because a lot of times our human mind is conditioned to think about the negative and what's not going right and what's wrong. We have blind spots, so we have no idea of what we're bringing, what value we add to somebody. You never know what you bring to this life unless somebody tells you. So I hope you take these tips, and I hope you start building that beautiful life from the inside out. Until next month.